Okay, here we've got some more British and Brit Commonwealth books. Okay, this is a pair of books by Mr. Bailey, British Military Long Arms, 1715, 1815, and 1815 to 1863, hardcover books. Nice clean condition, the dust jackets, everything looks nice. I don't see any rips or tears. And these are, clearly, these are not an encyclopedia type reference. We're not talking the amount of research, detail, photos that we saw in the Skinnerton book, but lots of good information, identification purposes on all of the early stuff, the black powder, muskets, rifles, and whatnot. I think they're nice books. Okay, here we have a book by Howard Blackmore, British Military Firearms, 1650 to 1850. And this is another old classic. I believe this goes back to the 50s, late 50s or early 60s. 1961, Howard Blackmore. And this is just a very early book. He put a tremendous amount of time and research into it. It wasn't easy back in the old days, but this is a very nice book. A lot of coverage on the early material that you're just not going to find elsewhere. And as with all my books, the book itself very clean. You can see a little bit dusty from sitting on the shelf. Very nice condition. And edges of the dust jacket, a little bit of wear, but once again, very nice. And here we have a pair of books on British military bayonets and swords by John Latham. And I would compare these books to the other hardback pair by Bailey on the military rifles. We are talking good identification guides, lots of information, but it's not a 500-page Skinnerton encyclopedia, but it is very, very good for identification purposes, and it covers everything from the modern day stuff to a lot of the older stuff that frankly I've never seen, at least I've not outside of museums and whatnot. Same thing on the sword book. And this is an area I just never got into. It doesn't really interest me. Swords, especially officer swords, decorative swords, it's just not my cup of tea. But a nice book. Both in very nice condition. Hardback, dust jacket on the bayonet book is good. A little bit of a rip on the sword book. Edges a little bit worn, but once again, we're talking about a working reference book. Australian Service Bayonets. This is one of Skinnerton's books on his homeland. Everything you want to know about bayonets from Australia. We don't have photographs. We've got extensive line drawings, which for reproductive purposes probably better. I take it back. We do evidently have some photos, but mainly a lot of line drawings, a lot of information from the manuals and whatnot. Very good book.